Now, welcome to game night. This is going to be a really fun show. We are looking over into the new site that has just been created, ElderScrollsWiki.net. Hope you guys are pretty excited here for tonight as we get ready for more Elder Scrolls. You know, it's the 10th anniversary, and some that have been working endlessly in the Infinite Archive. I'm going to tease a little bit. Have you remembered in the Dwarven Ruins, in that hot place, they built those beautiful shields? The mystery of the Dwarven machines coming out into your mind. Will it be Redguard? Will it be a vestige? Or will it be the Anchorborn? We shall see. I'm going to take a break, and I will be right back. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your game night. I'll be right back. Don't you love the music? Just got back. I didn't go anywhere that quick. I'm not. Well, are you that quick in Skyrim or in Redguard? What shall we go into tonight? Well, there's a lot of work that has to be done with Skyrim. As we're trying to get the pictures in for Skyrim, what do you think? Well, both games are pretty good. And gearing up here for the next chapter is going to be some super sweet fun as we gear towards the next chapter that will lead us into the 6th version. As you can kind of see here of the lettering here with Elder Scrolls, as we are looking forward and putting an eye in. Some people say that the next character numeral letter is a 1 or an I. That's pretty sweet to think about. Ever think about like how fun it is to adventure across Tamriel? Do you know how to get into Stros Makai? Are you just going to be a prisoner? Maybe Cyrus is looking for his lover. That's interesting. Will we see Cyrus tonight? Or will we see the vestige? I don't know what the vestige is actually called, but I do hear that the vestige is the depicted hero of the next upcoming future chapter after this next chapter is coming in. I'm bad at spoiling stuff. So I'm just going to go over here into stuff here for a little bit that we have in the 2 places here for Skyrim. As I love Skyrim. I've been playing Skyrim ever since Skyrim came out, and it's a great thing. Just to let you know, like what's going on with Skyrim. When I first found out about Skyrim, I was living over at an apartment, and there were some neighbors that was playing the game. I had no idea Skyrim even existed, let alone I didn't even know ESO existed. You know what I'm saying? before then, what happened and what happens when things develop? All the way back in 1981, when we first started developing the thing called MS-DOS, we switched over and we're like, we need to go to the X-Gine system. Like, what's the X-Gine system? Well, it has something to do with MS-DOS. And are we in the first or third person perspective? In the fifth. You're like, I thought I was in the fourth game. Like, you're sending me all the way to the sixth game? Well, it might be Arena or it might be Morrowind. I don't know. So here in ElderScrollsWiki.net, you can discover the ultimate ESO resource, your go-to guide for export turtles, stunning mods, and exclusive stories. Oh yeah, there's a lot of stories that are going on with Skyrim. And Skyrim is fun for the adventure you may be thought like a sweet roll. Don't you want a sweet roll? Don't you want to go over to the Lonely Troll? I know the squeaver ain't winking. You're like, how do you know this stuff? Because I'm an Elder Scrolls nerd. So, knowing whether the game was based on the actual land has yet to be known. So do you call it the Lonely Troll? Are you a lonely troll? Or maybe you're a winking skeever. Oh, I don't know. But I do know that the arch pastry person is looking to get you guys to gather in. You know, like gather together for what's the next phrase? You gotta know that. So I'm with you, or I'm there with you. You can join the club. Stay updated with our latest tips and other news by joining our newsletter. That's some sweet stuff in Wiki. You're like, how did Wiki get in there? Well, by giving a sweet roll, hence you give a sweet roll. That's kind of the philosophy in Wiki, is you give something and you'll receive something back. Some people, they like thinking that they're an actual sweet roll. Have you ever thought about if you're an actual sweet roll, do you want to be getting eaten by your lover? Of course you do. You want to be the sweet roll. You're like, yes, I always want to be the horse of your dreams. No. So, as the story goes, Redley is stuck in South High Rock Gate, waiting for her opportunity to go back home. However, she starts understanding she has to stay in Sky Oblivion as she faintly remembers Daggerfall. As Redlia looks down into the mysterious land of the trees, she thought, how do those trees have an engine? Then the watchers on the wall looked and said, look, Redlia, we have something new for you. It might be a treasure chest. There might be a sweet roll in that treasure chest. With the creation kit, allowing players to find a location in the game, such as quests that will help with the player. Fast travels or moves at a player's own speed to find the specific location of the quest. If you can't tell, I really like Skyrim. So when doing that fast travel, you're sitting there like, how do I fast travel? This is pretty amazing though. Like this picture right here is the actual game screen of the Sky Oblivion icon. This is absolutely amazing. The little spot here, that you look over by joining the club, the little place, it's a little radio, and when you the picture has been developed from Nintendo, and what the little thing is like a little radio, and it's going over, it's imaginary, invisible, to where when you click inside of Wiki, inside of the Skyrim engine, go in and you boom, you're in the game. And you get a real game screenshot. And like, wow, this is absolutely amazing, because it is amazing. That's how amazing the game actually is. Because the game is real. The screen is real on the inside. You might just look at this really quick and you're like, what is that? If you've never heard of Elder Scrolls before, and you're just, tonight is the first time you've ever seen anything from Elder Scrolls, and this is the first thing that you've seen, you can know that this is a true game shot, and that this is a true connection, that the game is living. The game really is living. It's like a testament that the game is going to continue on, on and on and on and on, and on ages upon ages, you know. So Skyrim is basically one of the first games to enhance our graphics with the creation engine. It's a big, complex engine that not a whole lot of people understand. So allowing players to find a location in the game, that creation engine is definitely going to help. As you can see in the real game screen, the pinpointed locator right here is one of the tools that we use in order to find the locations inside of the game. It's absolutely amazing when seeing all these tools. Some of the developers from before, they don't even know that those things had done it. They're just like, yep, that's how it works, and that's how we're going to keep on making this work. This is absolutely amazing. I know, it's absolutely amazing. You're like, whoa, that's amazing. What is this, the EU server, or is this the NA server? I don't know. It's all the same to me. When you think of the 5th version, you know you're going into the 5th version. I know the game inside and out. I can tell you every little square inch of the game, because I just know that. So if you have any questions about the game, get on the chat line and talk, because I'm not on the chat line. But once I do realize that there's a lot of people chatting, that's what the chat lines are there for. You guys remember when AOL, maybe you weren't old enough to remember AOL, or maybe you never have heard of AOL. But AOL Instant Messenger was one of the biggest chat lines available during the day, before you might have heard of what's called Y2K. That was a point when we had to transfer some things that we didn't know what we were going to do. Basically, we were switching over frequencies in a big fancy terms of what we call switching over from analog over into digital. And this is one of the first games that actually has been developed with both analog and digital. It's more digitally enhanced and using a little bit of analog inside for the signals. As you can see inside of here, the invisible radio right here, as you type your email, that's the literal radio. That's what I'm explaining with the Nintendo loading bar. that you see spin, if you've ever played a Nintendo Switch, that is still in there. That radio is actually connecting Join the Club to where Join the Club connects over into the game screen, which goes over into the other game screens and the writings in here that you guys see. Um, this is a second writing of Skyrim in here in Wiki, and so looking in here, you see here, this is just a kind of a template, and as you can see, Wiki is a fairly new site that has just come out. It's a kind of another form of Vesta. If you've never heard of Elder Scrolls, and you won't understand what Vesta is, and that's okay. But what I do want you to understand is that these shots of the game, the pictures of the game is what I'm saying, is showing a living, breathing game. Skyrim is a living, breathing game, and the game comes to life when you play the game more. It's pretty awesome. And when you're thinking about like how are these games like connected? When you play the fifth version, you'll understand completely how the graphics are the same. The basic thing is the walls have to be transferred. What I'm going to explain here is a little bit about the difference in the servers. The NA server is considered the North American server, whereas the EU server is considered the European server, over for those who live in Europe. This is a basic, in a nutshell, how the servers are connected. There's many servers, but what I'm explaining is here. This is the example NA server right here in this picture right here, whereas this is the EU server. You see what I'm saying? We need both of the servers to work to where we have the both game screen shots working inside of the game. Even though the EU server might be in a different land, it's still in the same place. And that shows a connection for us to where we can play the same game. Right now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a real quick break as you guys are hopefully getting a little bit more accustomed to Wiki, as this is a connection for us for Elder Scrolls, an important one. Hopefully this is going to get those pictures out and where we can see some of the quests inside of Skyrim, as this is where this page is leading us into the quest lines of Skyrim. That's going to take many years, and this is just the beginning to seeing this. I really would have thought Scandinavia was inside of the pictures. It's kind of been portrayed as Scandinavia is the based land for the literal land of Skyrim. That's yet to be seen. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a real quick break. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your game night and you're learning a lot about Elder Scrolls. I love Elder Scrolls, and hopefully you will stay tuned and learn a lot more about Elder Scrolls with me. Just got back. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your game night and seeing what to do inside of the 5th version. Getting ready. The 4th version. Do you have your sweet roll ready? Hopefully you have your sweet roll ready. I will be getting my sweet roll here tomorrow. For the time being, in Tamriel space, we are moving forward. This is going to be a huge adventure. Now, where are we going to be going? In the land of Skyrim. As you will soon see, if you wander off the path, you will get confused, and you will not know what's going on, as there are many Skyrims in Tamriel. You want to stay close, because you'll literally get confused in Elder Scrolls. There's many things that have to be done still, and so this is the online side for Elder Scrolls. It's a big, vast universe in Elder Scrolls, and so what I'm suggesting for those of you guys, stay tuned and stick with, because if you go to all sorts of different areas, you don't want to go over to like this or that place. You want to be gathered together with a certain amount of friends. If you have too many friends, this is the old saying where there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. You see what I'm saying? There has to be one chief and there has to be Indians. That's how a tribe works. It's always how a tribe has worked. And so what I'm suggesting is either stick with me or find your niche. Find your tribe that you're supposed to be with. The next chapter is coming up here in June. That's a perfect time for you guys that are getting into Gold Road. Get together with a certain group of friends. Don't stray off from Gold Road if you're going to be going into Gold Road, because Gold Road's going to be around. You might not have understood that from the previous chapter, but I'm just explaining how these things work. There's going to be some people that are going to leave you, and you're going to wonder why. Why did they leave me? They came to me. I'm here for the game. I'm here for the game. It's like going to somewhere. You get all excited. You're like, I'm gonna be there every day. I'm excited. I want to be over at the Lonely Troll, and I want to play some music, or I want to eat some sweet rolls. That's good and all. We've gotta work. Kind of like when I started out, when I traveled over to the land in Skyrim, I had to start working. I had to find an axe, and I had to start cutting wood over at some of the lumber mills to make a living. Same thing going into the next chapter. You got to stay in the next chapter. I'm not going to be in Gold Road, so you got to know that. You got to have a set amount of friends. You think I'm going into Gold Road? No, I'm not. I am going to be in the same place that I'm been to. When you kind of understand what I'm talking about, you can't stray from the path that has been laid upon you. It's kind of like let the cube lay upon the lore. Something like that. So, have you seen the cube in current ESO? I haven't. However, what I am doing, and this will let you in to know what I'm doing in ESO. This is part of ESO. There's two sides to Elder Scrolls, and some basic, big, complex systems of different things. It's basically called online and offline. This is the basic online side, and if you're going to get on the online side, you want to make sure you get in and stay with Elder Scrolls Wiki. I'm not even joking. Like when you find out where this actual site goes, you're gonna be confused if you're not literally trying to stay in Elder Scrolls. So I'll give you a couple of pointers like on where to go when we do get to that point. Right now, just sit back, sit tight, and basically enjoy the ride before the storm starts hitting. There's always the storm that starts hitting us. And then we're like, where do we go? We're getting scattered. What did we do? What did we do? Well, you can always come back to Elder Scrolls Wiki. You learn something. So you go over there and you go over to the other place. Like, hey, I'm all Elder Scrolls. I'm all Elder Scrolls. And then another Elder Scrolls player comes up to you and says, "So, you're an Elder Scrolls player?" And you say, "Yes, yes, sir. Yes, I am." Then the other Elder Scrolls player says, "Well, you gotta do this in order to stick with me." Like I need to find out. I'm gonna go back to him. And the other player says, "Okay." Little does the player that was in here in Elder Scrolls Wiki that went over to the other place, the other player was with this player. Then that leads us to when that certain player talks to both of us players, we say, "You gotta go there." Like, why did you get involved in that place? Because I like the pretty pictures. I like the pretty pictures too. And when we get to the point on the other side, I'm going to explain. You'll be like, some of you are gonna jet, and you're like, that's my out. That's my out. I am out. I'm never going into that ever again. Oh, but yes, you are going to go in that again. You can't get out of Elder Scrolls. You'll pretty soon see why. Because there is an out. And so I'll explain a little bit about how the inn is going to work to where we can get out. As you can see, going down here, there's a lot of pictures, but there's no out. Like, I'm trying to get out of Skyrim. I can't get out of Skyrim. I can't get out of them in the beginning. Well, maybe, quite possibly, yes. If you were paying attention in Hebrews 1:10, you would have understood that was in the beginning. So when you fall off, like most people do, like, what are you, a jester or something? No. More info written later. This is the place where you guys that are not literally going to be like die-hardcore Elder Scrolls people, like I am, and hopefully you are. And if you're not totally a die-hardcore Elder Scrolls person, which some are not, that's okay. I'll lead you to where you can scatter. But you got to remember, you gotta pay something. Just by clicking on a button is not gonna do anybody good. See what I'm saying? It's good when we can click on buttons, but if those buttons keep on getting clicked and they don't get paid, that does none of us any good. And so what I'm explaining is, like, here in the future, when this little button is available, you guys are going to, that are not totally staying in Elder Scrolls, you got to remember you got to pay something in some form of paying your due. And so what I'm explaining is, go back in here into the site of elderscrollswiki.net. It's going to save your hide. You want to make sure you pay the one-time fee of $19.99. that one-time fee was created for two purposes. The one purpose here of what I'm talking about, when you just click on a bunch of buttons and you don't know what to do, and you're like, oh, so this is kind of like a little reminder to that you don't want to just click on click on a bunch of buttons. It's okay to click on some buttons, but you gotta pay sooner or later. You gotta pay sometime, and that's the truth on that matter. And so the other purpose of why I created the one-time fee of $19.99 is for the purpose, if any of you are confused on what the base game costs and what the reason is for paying the one-time fee, such as paying for the base game, it's about $19.99. And also, you might not understand the reason for a monthly fee. The foundation of the monthly fee, this is going to sound kind of corny, and you're probably like, I knew that, but I didn't really know that. The one-time fee is the foundation for the monthly fee. You see what I'm saying? In radio, what you have to do is you have to have a backup tower and a main tower. You have to have both of those two forms of radio paid. That is the purpose of having the one-time fee and a monthly fee. When you pay both the one-time fee and the monthly fee, you start circulating, and that starts paying us all. That starts paying you, that starts paying me, that starts paying them, that starts paying all of us. I've been trying to explain that for years, and hopefully that will really start materializing in some people's minds, and for all of us. Hopefully you see that what I'm talking about, where we all need to be able to live. We all need to be able to get paid in some places. So that's the purpose on there, right there, of also kind of the reason why there's not a link inside to the other place that's going to be leading you guys here in the future of going out of Elder Scrolls Wiki. Right now, as you can kind of see, the point that where the link's not in there is because the page in here for the beginning quest lines for Skyrim is, I'm gonna get confused because I'm totally getting into Skyblivion. Skyrim is like Skyrim and Skyblivion are basically the same thing to me. And you'll kind of understand that as the years go by. This is I'm really into Elder Scrolls. And you might have like seen before, but they're like, you're kind of really into Elder Scrolls. Yes, I am, and that's a really good thing. So this is kind of showing you right here in the from the Skyrim page here that there is two more basic paragraphs that have to be written inside of Wiki in order for us to get over to the other side. That's an awesome thing. On the other side, there is a lot to do, and that's where I hand the reins over to the other side. You see what I'm saying? You guys will stay here with me, right over here, in like where until these two places are actually written in, and then what happens is the reins get transferred. You see what I'm saying? This is a bigger scoop of things in Elder Scrolls. When you think about the connections between two things, what I'm talking about and referring about is the connection between Vesta and Zos. Some people call Zos ZeniMax Online Studios. And what I'm explaining here is once these two places get filled up with writing, then I hand the reins over to the other guys on the other side. You see what I'm saying? Some of you guys, you'll come back in here just because the pictures are cute and you like the writing and like trying to find where the actual picture location is. And you get to see the nice little Skyrim logo that reminds you that you're getting your game before you play it. Some people kind of like try to practice before they play, or before they're going to go and do some sort of competition. Some people go into all sorts of competitions inside of the game, inside of Skyrim. That's an awesome thing. I think it's going to be a beautiful thing when Oblivion connects up with Skyrim. That is going to be the most beautiful thing. And if you didn't hear, if you're a natural Elder Scrolls player, Whiterun's going to be starting to be developed this year, so that's something to look forward to tremendously. Super sweet. So I'm going to tease a little bit on that, but I can't tease right now because we're getting into the next chapter. Go road. Go road. The road. The road. I don't know anything about Gold Road except for Anvil. I went in there with Mount Buddy, and I'm just sitting there. I get over there to Anvil, and I did not have a good time over in Anvil. I was there for about 20 or 30 minutes. That was not a good time. You kind of realize why I'm not going to go in the Gold Road anymore, ever. Most likely never. The reason being is because I'm aligned in another place. When you guys understand that, you'll completely understand why I won't go over into places like Anvil, is because the connection was not aligned. If I was going into Gold Road completely, the connection would stay constant, and we would have a perfect connection inside there. And that's why you guys have to trust those that are getting into Gold Road. And when they know what they're talking about, and you know that they know what they're talking about, you can trust that you can be connected with them. And so I'm kind of leading you guys over from the mentality of, hey, trust Vesta where you trust Sos. And that's what we have to do. That both sides have to work together. When it comes down to it, when we have to have both the offline and online working, when it comes down to it, Zos works with the online side, whereas Vesta works with the offline side. It's a big complex mess if things are screwed with in the connections, such as like an online wire connection. If you mess with the connection and then the connection gets messed up. I'm just explaining how like people from before have gone into an account and then they either erase information or they go in there and somebody catches them while they're logged in, and then the person that's not supposed to be logged in looks at the person that knows that they're not supposed to be logged in. The person that knows that they're not supposed to be logged in says, "Hey, what did I do wrong? Huh? What did I do wrong?" And that's when the people that know, they take the things from those people who are not supposed to come in. Have you ever thought about that? Why would somebody actually go into another person's account that wasn't supposed to? That doesn't really make any sense. But that has happened. I don't agree with that. However, why would somebody go into somebody else's account that wasn't supposed to? I'm just going through a past experience of what I'm going to talk about. I was trying to get the test building going on over a place that had some coffee brewing every day. Wasn't able to fully get that functioning. One of the reasons is because a person actually snuck in to the building and took an electronic Razer mouse. The Razer mouse was actually taken from the building. I don't know how the heck they even got in. They actually opened the window seal in the window frame. And I would have originally thought that they like had gotten a key to open up the door, but they really like pried open the door, or they finagled the door, like how some people they know how to get a car a car door open from getting a coat hanger going in inside of the window. It was kind of like that. It's like why the heck would that person go in with like a coat hanger, or go in with some sort of tool that would be able to get inside of a window? What happens when somebody actually goes into some place that's not supposed to? They always get caught later on, or they get caught right away. Either way, they're getting caught anyways. And then when they find out like what's going on, that people ask them, why did you do that? They're like, I don't know, I just wanted to see what it felt like. And then things get worse for that person. I have no idea why they took the Razer mouse. That was a good electronic mouse, and not only dealing with Skyrim, but that dealt with the older Elder Scrolls games. That person had no idea that that the games were messed with. It's a blessing that I can get into the older games. It's a little weird that how the electronic mouse was actually taken. That's the electronic mouse was taken, but the computer PC was not taken. And go figure, huh? The computer device was right next to the Razer mouse. All they wanted was the Razer mouse. And they probably wanted to look cool. They probably wanted to sound like they were cool, because they had a nice device that they stole. Doesn't make sense at all to why they came in. They knew exactly what was going on inside of the building. The building was hurting, yet they kept on going in. And I don't know how those types of people think. I don't even want to even imagine what goes on with that. You think like, I have a dream of going and taking the Razer electronic mouse. It's been a dream of mine all this time. Then someone asks, hey, what you gonna do with that electronic Razer mouse that you don't even know what it does? I didn't know. I'm going to take a short break, and hopefully you guys are enjoying your game night. As this is progressing very well. Yeah, I'm really helping. As you see the little dragon kind of popping out. Now, is there a nickname for this dragon? Well, Puff has already shown up. Is this dragon? What is this dragon? That shall be revealed in a little bit. I'll be right back. Let's go back here. Hope you guys are having a great meal. I'm going to explain how this works. This is a beautiful thing, how the system actually works. We're still in Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I'm going to explain how this works. This is an absolute beautiful thing. Going down here to the bottom part here, right of what I'm talking about, where the actual link to the other side will go. What I'm explaining, where the link is going to send you guys, is going to send you into one of the places in the Skyrim section of Wikipedia. What I'm going to explain is what I'm going to need you guys to do is create a page in Wikipedia that gets us back over into ElderScrollsWiki.net. That will show a true connection that we're connected. And that's a beautiful thing. And so what I'm going to do here tonight is I'm going to look into Wikipedia if there's some sort of connection we can come up with, either over through Zos or Vesta. And so this is the important thing to understand when you guys do get to the point when we have the 2 paragraphs completed. I'm the one that puts in the pictures and writes the information in here in Elder Scrolls Wiki. I would like to have more people write with me. However, that's something that's unforeseeable at this current moment, because there's been, due to some things that have happened in the past, there's just highly unlikely that someone will write right away. Do you see what I'm saying? Giving an email and a password is super easy. I could give out the email and password right now to where you could log in here into Elder Scrolls Wiki, like I want you guys to be able to log into and actually be able to write in here. That's the thing that I do wish that the people would be able to write in here, but that's an unforeseeable thing right now. Now in the future, that could change. However, there's going to have to be a lot of trust and a lot of things that happen. And that's why I'm leading you guys over into Wikipedia, where you can log into an account. This right here, if you do click on the login thing, that does send you into where you can log in to by creating a page of your own inside of the system here. And what I'm going to explain here of what we need to get back inside of ElderScrollsWiki.net is we need a link going back into ElderScrollsWiki.net. And I'm going to show you how this works. So when you're looking at a screen like right here, like here, for example, here in the future, the link is going to be right about here, where it says it's basically going to say, for more info with Skyrim, click here, and that's on all of the other parts of some of the other game series in Elder Scrolls. I've always written that just like with so-and-so game series and whatnot. So what I'm explaining here, I'm going to show you guys how this works. So going up here you can go over here into ElderScrollsWiki.net currently, just by either typing in on the search tab. This in the future will get us ElderScrollsWiki.net into the search engines in which this is supposed to. And so going over here, looking in here, this is the page here for where all of the games and all of the information for the quest lines in the game series of Elder Scrolls. This is a big project, and this will continue on and on and on and on and on. This goes on, like, it literally can go on forever, basically, of what I'm saying. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over into the other Skyrim page that's been developed here, right here in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So I'm going to click here, right in here. This is just a page here that's been developed for Wikipedia, showing you guys some of the information. This is a lot of information to take in. You're like, wow, that's pretty cool, because that is cool. And so what I'm talking about here, for more info with Skyrim, click here. This page has been fully developed, so this is good to go going into Wikipedia. Going for the other Skyrim page that's getting ready for us for the quest lines, this is how this is going to work, where we're going to want to have a link going into Wikipedia, where Wikipedia sends us back over into ElderScrollsWiki.net, which this is the site right here where Elder Scrolls Wiki is. So I'm just going to click on here, and I'm going to see if there's any information for us for where there's a page where there's Besta or Zos. The page there has to be another page just like that for Elder Scrolls Wiki. You see what I'm saying? To where we can get back into the game, so to speak. So I'm going to click here, going into Wikipedia. This is an awesome thing. When you look at creating an account, you can create an account over in ElderScrollsWiki.net. But for right now, what I want you guys to do that are getting more involved in Elder Scrolls, if you can't write, I'm going to suggest you guys going over to WikiHow and starting to write there if you have no other place to write. If you cannot write in Wikipedia, if you can write in Wikipedia, if you can get an account, that's great. That's going to help you out tremendously, because we're going to be able to create a page just like in Wikipedia for ElderScrollsWiki.net. That's the whole purpose of Elder Scrolls Wiki, because we're going to be able to connect up with both Besta and Zos. Those are the two main places that are a connection for Elder Scrolls. So sitting here, this is a lot of information for parts of Skyrim. This is just a miniature version of what's available in Wikipedia. So this is a lot of information to take in, and if you guys are just getting started, getting involved in Elder Scrolls, that's where you'll want to start, going over into ElderScrollsWiki.net, which will land you over in here into Wikipedia, to where we are going to be able to start developing a page for Elder Scrolls Wiki. See what I'm saying? Pretty easy. It's super easy, but it's very complex. So that's going to take a lot to get involved. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go into the search bar here of Wikipedia and see if we have any page for Elder Scrolls Wiki. How about just Wiki? Wiki, type of website the visitors can edit. Wikimedia Foundation, Wikidata, Wikipedia, Wikimania, Wikimedia Commons, Wiki Software, Wikipedia logo, Wikinaria, Wikisource, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to hit the enter button and see if there is any page. Okay, so we have a page for Wiki, but this is a different kind of Wiki. As you can kind of see, this is with a capital W and all lowercase with the IKI. What Wiki stands for, it's a basic call letters for the basic Elder Scrolls radio station. Do you see what I'm saying? We want to have call letters for Elder Scrolls. That's why Elder Scrolls Wiki has been developed, for us to be able to get into Wikipedia, to where we can get back into Elder Scrolls Wiki. See what I'm saying? The connection will be true. So looking in here off of this is just like a main page for the wiki of Wikipedia. Hence the name for Elder Scrolls Wiki, with all capital letters. In radio stations, the call letters, it goes with 4 letters of a radio station. And so that's why I developed Elder Scrolls Wiki, and so we can have a radio station for Elder Scrolls. That's so beautiful and so fun. So let's get into it. How do you create a page? I don't know how to create a page. It's a lot of things. You can go into getting an article, or you can go into the talk page. How do you do that? I don't know how to do that. Well, maybe you do know somewhat how to do that. And that's why you have to get a group of friends together, and that's what Wikipedia is good for, is getting groups together and forming those groups and doing that every night, so where we can start forming Elder Scrolls Wiki here in Wikipedia. Then we get ourselves a connection. You see what I'm saying? So right over here, since I just explained the wiki side of Wikipedia, we need to get involved with Elder Scrolls a little bit more. So I'm going to type in if there's anything in either ZeniMax or Vesta. I'm just going to write in Vesta here for the time being, see if there's anything on Vesta. Let's see here. From Wikipedia, the Free Encyclopedia, Vesta originally referred to the Pool of Vesta, a pool in Jerusalem described in the New Testament story of the healing the paralytic at Vesta. Vesta may also refer to places. Let's see, Antigua and Barbuda, Canada, South Africa, Suriname, United Kingdom, United States. There's some Vestas in the United States. Some other uses for Vesta is a Vesta system, Vesta Softworks. And since this is known, that's a good thing, because you know what I'm saying? Vesta Softworks can't completely say they're Vesta. It's just because there's different towns that are named Vesta. They can't, like, Vesta Softworks can't go in and say, hey, we're taking over completely. Hey, Barbuda. Hey, Barbuda, back out. Not really. So what is going on here? We have something for Vesta Softworks. Now, let's see here. What do we have for Vesta? Vesta Softworks. American Public something game publisher, something like that. This is kind of the page for Vesta. Company type, subsidiary, industry, video games. Founded June 28th, 1986, blah, 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 blah. Founder Christopher Weaver. Headquarters Rockville, Maryland. Area served worldwide. Key people Todd Vaughn, VP Development, Ron Sager, VP Sales. Blah, 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 blah. More information that's really, really, really good. So it shows here in March of 2021, Microsoft acquired Vesta's parent company, ZeniMax Media, maintaining that the company will continue to operate as a separate business. So even though we are looking at Vesta and ZeniMax as the same company, we have to treat both Vesta and ZeniMax as a separate business. Now, when we're talking about Elder Scrolls Wiki, that's a little bit different of a story, as if you're following along and getting involved with Elder Scrolls Wiki, we're not really a video game company. We're like in the Sweet Roll Church or something. you know what I'm saying? We're so going over here, getting the information for Elder Scrolls Wiki. Over here, like the little logo or whatever, like how Vesta, the Vesta logo. But what's the company type? What is a site type? Like Elder Scrolls Wiki is not really a company type. However, Elder Scrolls Wiki is a form of business, as you'll soon find out what Vesta and ZeniMax rely on here in the near future. So that's what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write in ZeniMax. Is there anything there? There we go. ZeniMax Media is what the. What about just ZeniMax? ZeniMax. Okay, so there's two different things showing here for ZeniMax Media and ZeniMax Online Studios. Over on Elder Scrolls Online, we always refer to ZeniMax Online Studios as ZOS, short for ZeniMax Online Studios. So if you didn't know that, you're kind of starting to learn a little bit more about Elder Scrolls Online. This is what this is going to take for us to get a connection. We have to get a connection back in from Wikipedia back over to Elder Scrolls Wiki. We're going to have to do a lot of work, and that's a good thing. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to start concentrating over in Wikipedia on creating a page for Elder Scrolls Wiki. That's going to make me so happy when you guys have created a page here in Wikipedia for the site. So looking in here on ZeniMax, I'm just going to click on the enter button and see if there's anything that comes up for. So ZeniMax, when just writing in ZeniMax Media comes in. What does that tell you when you just write in ZeniMax and then you see ZeniMax Media? You don't really know nothing about ZeniMax just yet. You're like, oh, ZeniMax, that looks pretty sweet. So what do we have for ZeniMax Online Studios? There we go. So this is a little different from the ZeniMax Illustrated or whatever that was, like the ZeniMax Media. It's all a bunch of complex terms. None that I really understand. This company type subsidiary. So what about Vesta? Budapest. Vesta. So the ZeniMax Online Studios and Vesta Softworks, we can write this in as subsidiary. If this is how this is. And it does say subsidiary. It's a great thing. If you have ever gotten involved with some sort of business type of stuff, this is a great thing. A great thing to get involved, because now we can write in the company type as subsidiary. That's a great thing. So that's the first step on that. So what I'm going to use fandom as an example. What is fandom? Fandom, the website. So fandom is a wiki hosting service. The type of business is written as private. Wikia redirects here, not to be confused with Wiki. Fandom, formerly known as WikiCities or Wikia, is a wiki hosting service that hosts wikis, mainly on entertainment topics. Video games, TV series, movies, entertainers, etc., 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 etc. So that says private. That says private. So we're going to be looking at, I want you guys to write in either subsidiary or private for the current moment. Just think about it. Now, what about Google? Google. What's Google? So Google's a subsidiary. Okay, so how about, it's not a regular website. I don't know what other website. What's another game website? I can't think of any other game website beyond fandom. Huh. What's the best of soft works? This shows subsidiary. Maybe private? Just look here really quick on tests and see what we have here. And it looks like private might be the correct terminology in Wikipedia. So for those of you guys that are getting more involved with Elder Scrolls Wiki and Wikipedia, this is the thing that you guys are going to want to write in as the company type as private. So what I'm going to show you guys here is the ladder of what like the relation between Elder Scrolls Wiki and fandom, because they're both private. The difference between the subsidiary is that's a higher level of things of what I'm referring about, such as Google or a different website. What I'm explaining with Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam, that might be a company type such as called a subsidiary. Fandom is not a per se a building block on physical electronics. See what I'm saying? The fandom is more on the software side, just as much as Elder Scrolls Wiki is. The purpose of Vesta and ZeniMax Online Studios is more along the lines of physical electronics that are being developed. There has to be both the hardware side and the software side. This is going to be kind of a complex thing to talk about because Vesta is more of the hardware side, whereas ZeniMax Online Studios is the software side. You kind of see what I'm saying? ZeniMax Media is considered a subsidiary type. However, they're more of a private company. So what I'm talking about with Elder Scrolls Wiki, the best thing for you guys to do is to be writing in Elder Scrolls Wiki as a private company type. So what I'm going to look in here in fandom, on the fandom website, right here, which is here, and I'm going to click on what the private type of business is. Privately held company is a company whose shares and related rights or obligations are not offered for public subscription or publicly negotiated in their respective listed markets. Instead, the company's stock is offered, owned, traded, or exchanged privately. Also known as blah, 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 blah. So that can be figured out here in the future. And this looks like the best avenue for the first part of what you guys see after the Elder Scrolls Wiki logo, just as much as you see the fandom logo. Type of business we're going to put it in as a private type of business. And so you guys can figure all of that out, like here in the future of what type of site it is, available in blah, 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 founded in blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Founded, Elder Scrolls Wiki, I think, was just last month. Was when Wiki actually got up and running. So somewhere in March, I think it was. So you can kind of write in like March. This is all new information, so don't worry about if you're thinking that somebody's going to give you a hard time on writing some of the stuff. The harder things will come later on when the real information needs to be known on an exact issue of a thing. Like right now, currently, the the editing stage for Elder Scrolls Wiki is being developed. As I can just foresee Elder Scrolls Wiki being developed inside of here of Wikipedia, by the information that's being spoken and by the information that we can learn from places like fandom. This is an awesome thing for us being able to show a connection with Besta and ZeniMax, because those are the two true connections for Elder Scrolls. So I kind of have to explain that's where we want to be led to once we get into Wikipedia. For those of you guys that are not going to be completely into Elder Scrolls, when you get into a game series stream, what I'm going to explain going into the Elder Scrolls Online, once you go into that screen and you're logged in, make sure you go over to your business site that you directly work with. It does other companies no good if you're not going in like fully, and then you just kind of like sit and soak. But then so kind of what I'm explaining is, if you're not totally going like fully trying to um, like stay with Elder Scrolls, if you're just gonna play like one game series like for 2 years, you're gonna want to go someone into helping with Elder Scrolls Wiki. However, you're not going to be able to completely help out with Elder Scrolls Wiki. You're going to be able to help out a little bit, but what I'm explaining is when it comes down to the more difficult things that have to be written, and when it they're kind of the reason why I haven't let out the email and password is for the purpose so we don't have any fighting. Once some of this stuff is more understood, when some of the more difficult tasks, such as writing and getting the links into the different places in Vesta and ZeniMax, that's when the more complex things that are beautiful are going to be able to be done. Currently, when you guys write something in the page that's created for Elder Scrolls Wiki, there's not much. You don't have to worry about all the legalistic things. When the tough times come in, and when what I'm talking about is when the serious things come in, the people who do know and have authority in those matters, they're going to be able to explain to you what needs to be done. So when you put in the type of business such as private, that's a great thing to be putting in for Elder Scrolls Wiki. And the date that the site was formed, just putting in March of 2024 will be able to be sufficed right now. I can look into the system here later on what the exact date is, but the kind of the formation that Wiki was founded was in March of 2024. That's a great thing to know. Hopefully, you guys are really enjoying tonight's game night, as you might not have thought this was kind of a game night, but it is. It really is. That's a really fun things to getting involved with games in Elder Scrolls. I'm so excited for Elder Scrolls Wiki to be seen here in Wikipedia, as this will lead us both back from Wikipedia into Elder Scrolls Wiki, and back from Elder Scrolls Wiki back into Wikipedia. You kind of see how the circulation works? Hopefully you do. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a really quick break, and hopefully you're starting to learn a lot more about Elder Scrolls and getting involved in Elder Scrolls Wiki here tonight.